Alright, so now we're back in After Effects. If you haven't done so already, open Rainy Scene Continued. Now we need to bring in the PSD we made and some images. Go to the PSD folder in the project panel and go to File, Import, File. Select the photo frame for AE wherever it is you have it saved, and go to Options and make sure Composition is selected. This will allow After Effects to see all our layers. Grab the composition that it made for us and drag that to Asset Comps, and we'll change the name to Photo Frame 1. Double click it to open it, go to the front layer and drag that to the top, and then select the colour to be yellow. Grab the scratch layers, turn those to green, and turn this bottom one to fuchsia. This just helps us tell the difference between them a little easier. And let's turn off these scratch layers. Turn all these layers 3D and turn on motion blur, and then go back to the project panel and let's duplicate them so that we have 9 copies. So if you remember, to make a duplicate is Command D, Command D, Command D, Command D, and then there's 9. For the images, I've grabbed them from PixHere. This is a website which is free of copyright, and like it says, you can do whatever you want. I won't be including them in the download because I don't know what the distribution rules are, but I'll have a link to each of these pictures in the README file. So in the project panel, select the Other folder under the Images folder and hit Command I to import. Navigate to your pictures. I'm going to be bringing mine in from our project folder, and then I'm going to select those and bring them in. Let's bring one of our pictures into Photo Frame 1 and drag it to the next but bottom layer. Scale it down to fit the scene. Another thing we'll need to do is actually hide these guides that After Effects is showing us we brought in from Photoshop. But we can do that with View and Show Guides to hide them. Let's move this image across. Let's select the Mask tool and make our selection to crop out the area we don't want to see. Let's have a bit of a closer look at this. It's still a little bit too bright for us, so let's grab Tint. With the layer selected, double click Tint, and let's turn that down to 70%. Yeah, that looks good. Just a hint of colour. Let's turn on one of these scratch layers and let's rotate it in the Z, and let's bring it down to about here. Something like that should do. I don't think we need to overdo it. I think just a hint of damage is enough for this. The next thing we need to do is add a little text description with the Type tool. Call it Burned Out Car. Bring down the size a little bit. The font I'm using here is Gloria Hallelujah. I'll include the link to where you can get it from. It's just a free font from Google. Let's rotate that and give it a little bit of an angle, just so it looks like it's been written on there. We'll also turn motion blur on and activate 3D. It looks a bit too clean though, so we want to make it look like it's a bit smudged. And we can do that again with roughen edges. So select roughen edges, select spiky, and let's take that down to about 3 because it's just vanished otherwise. I think that's worked. Maybe a little bit more. There we go. Yeah, much better. So that's our first picture done. Let's go to the second picture. Let's go to the second picture. Activate photo frame 2. So I'm going to do one more and the rest I'll leave to you. So I'll hit pause so that way you don't have to see me repeating this process over and over. Again, we want to get rid of these guides, so we go to View, Show Guides. We'll grab this second image, which is the Baltimore Police. Let's focus on the badge, scale this down and get the badge in there. Let's use the mask selection and crop out anything we don't want to see. Let's use the tint again, and let's have it almost all black and white. Make sure it's all 3D. Actually, let's go back in there. I forgot to turn those 3D, so let's turn that back on 3D. Okay, back into photo frame 2. Motion blur and 3D layer is activated. We want to add a few scratches here. A little bit of rotation. Let's scale this one up. So we want to add another text layer. Let's just type it here and call it The Cops. We can make that a bit bigger, I think. Let's add roughen edges back on that. And zoom in. We want to see what we're doing here. Select spiky. I think that's okay with that size. Alright, so that's picture 2 done. I'm going to hit pause now and finish the rest, and then I'll carry on with the rest of the animation.